my God. You said what I said? We're saying the same.
Our twin era. Hey.
Hey, how is everybody?
Yeah. Answer right now.
If they don't
Say
reply
it out
right at the
loud.
second, I'm gonna cry. I'm ready to bawl.
Bull. No,
Bawl.
literally, like reply right now.
Scream it at whatever you're listening to this on.
Yeah. Anyways, how has your week been?
My week. Here's the thing. I always say this. I don't remember what I do in the week because
I'm so
once I
weak.
do it, it's gone
Yeah.
out of me. But I did spend a majority of this week like deep cleaning my house, scrubbing every tile,
Oh, I
like
love
the
that.
walls. I just really like, I don't know, for me, I get this sense of accomplishment and I haven't felt like accomplished with anything in so long. So it's kind of addictive. It's like, well, I got my room done and then I got the hallway done, my bathroom done. Like, feels so good. I don't know.
I need to do that. My room is kind of in a state of disarray.
Sometimes it's therapeutic just to clean it up.
Yeah.
Even though,
It's
like,
just,
I don't know, when I'm sad and like feeling like I need therapy, that's when I mess everything up and make it messy. But I'm in an opposite thing right now. I don't know.
yeah, I've been feeling a little more optimistic lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, not when it comes to my room. I look at my room and it's like really chaotic and I just get overwhelmed and I'm like, whatever. But just in like general,
Aw.
I've been feeling a little more optimistic and motivated, I guess. A little bit of motivation coming back.
I love that for
Um,
you.
yeah. I've just been like really burnt out.
Me too. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like I have no motivation. Like, I can't do the things I love. There's like
Yeah.
no inspiration coming out at all.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
tough.
like it's hard because it's like I think part of it might be because I feel like I'm going to work and I'm doing like the same thing over and over again. And especially since like fortunately and unfortunately, because it's not stressful because there's not much to do, but it's also there's not much to do. Excuse me, I just burped. But it's kind of slow season at my job. So there's not much for me to be doing.
Right.
I mean, there have been like registrations and stuff for this big event that's happening in October in Texas, which I might be going to, which is kind of exciting.
What?
Yeah, and there's like this whole gala and everything part of it, and yeah,
That sounds so fun.
yeah, it's like really exciting.
It's gonna be so cool.
So like everyone's been registering for that. So, and it's also been a bit chaotic because it's a bit of a tedious process to register on their end, and the people that are part of the organization I work for are like kind of fucking stupid. So they like don't know how to handle themselves. So it's been a bit crazy with that, but I mean, other than that and this like one list I do when I don't have anything else to do and I really drag it on, there's like nothing for me to do. So I show up to work and like I do things like one thing an hour so I don't run out of things to do within like the first hour. Right. And I guess I'm just like burnt out from that because I'm so bored all the time and I'm so like I show up and I'm like, what's the point of me being here? Like,
oh, I hate that feeling.
Because it's like
I hate that.
everything I have to do in a day, I get done in like an hour and a half. And I'm like, I have 6.5 hours left. Like, what do you mean? You know?
Here's the thing with that kind of thing too, because it's like you want to be doing more, but then if you were at another job where you had to do stuff throughout the whole day, I bet you'd be like, dang, I wish I had a little less to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like a middle ground with that.
Yeah. I mean, if it were a job like a clothing store job, I probably would be like stressed because you're always like given something to do and then you're on your feet the whole day. So that's kind of like, oh, I just want to like stand still for a second. But at an office job, when it's like an 8-hour day and you have nothing to do and you get whatever you have to do done in like an hour, you kind of like wish you had something to do because you're kind of just sat there most of the time, you know, with the exception of like getting up to print something or stepping out for a coffee or getting your lunch or getting a snack, whatever. or just like getting up to get stuff and talk to people. So it's like I kind of get bored because like I end up just like sitting on my phone on Twitter or on Instagram, or sometimes I go on like Pinterest, or I look through my playlists sometimes
Right.
and like prune them, and and then it's just like, like I don't want to look like I'm not doing anything, but the thing is like
You're
everyone
already
is kind
done.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I did everything I needed to do, and everyone kind of knows that there's not much to do, so it's like,
Now, when they give you the stuff that you need to do they expect it to take like a long time, or do they know you're gonna
no,
get finished with it?
they're pretty like lenient over there. They know it's like my boss, my immediate boss, because there's the lady I work under, and then there's our like general boss. She like comes in, she's like, I know it's not much, and I know you're probably gonna finish it in like 5 minutes, but here's this. And she's like, we don't really have
Mm.
much to do, but
I mean, it's nice that
whatever.
you're still getting paid for all those hours.
Yeah, true. And it's not that I'm like not really doing anything. Like I have this list of like these awards that I have to update, and it's a really long list. It's like over 300 people, like way over 300 people. So it's been taking me a while, and I like fall back on that when I don't have anything pressing to do. So it's like if I'm not, figuring out a registration or an application or whatever it is, I do that because it's not really um pressing, like it's not urgent. I don't need to get it done in like 5 minutes.
Right.
So it's like I can kind of take my time with it and stuff like that. And I that's like my go-to thing when I have nothing else to do. So I do that. And there's emails that I have to answer.
Right.
But overall it's just kind of like it's dull. So I feel really burnt out from it because there's not much going on. There's no
There's no
excitement.
excitement. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I feel like like I knew beforehand, and I know now based on experience, I was not meant for the 40-hour work week, the 9 to 5,
No.
Monday through Friday. I was not meant for the office kind of thing. And the sad part is I'm convinced that mentally I was meant for like the Nepo baby lifestyle of like,
Oh,
like
same. Yeah,
when you
I know
just
what
like
you mean.
when you're like, oh, I kind of want to be a model because my parents famous,
So you can pretty much just do whatever you want. You don't have to like.
well, not that, but it's just like every day is like something new,
Yeah,
like you don't really know what's going to happen in a day.
but you still feel safe.
Yeah, but you don't feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
Or like it's
That's
just
the dream.
exciting. Yeah. And this is probably like the grass, and like the grass is always greener, but like I definitely was not made for this monotonous lifestyle. Like jokes aside, Nepo baby joke aside, like I think I'm meant to be in like a lifestyle and career that's like
You need a
something
lot going on.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of, but also just like when I wake up, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and
So
I'm
like a
like,
spontaneous kind of
yeah, very,
lifestyle.
very spontaneous.
Spontaneous. That's a hard word.
I was about to say spontaneity, but that's not it. But like not, wrong form of that word. But yeah, very spontaneous lifestyle where it's
Yeah.
like I wake up and I have like a general idea of like, oh, I have, I don't know, this is an example. I have a concert that I'm going to play today, but I don't know what else I'm going to do in a day. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know, whatever. I don't know who's going to be at my like just
Yeah.
kind of like exciting and something new every day. But speaking of concerts, no, we're not talking about concerts again. We're talking about what you go to concerts to listen to.
Music, baby. Yeah.
Musique, as the French
Music.
say. Musique.
Music. My muse makes me sick.
Ooh.
Oh, I was thinking about that one for like a minute.
Oh my god, wait, write that down. Twin Cherry single?
Music. My muse makes me sick.
Oh my god, our single?
Oh
Our
my
first
God.
single for our band? I'm so weak.
Music.
Yeah, music. I have to burp again.
Delicious.
As you can see from my background, Bestie Kendall Roy.
Music.
He's listening to the Strokes. See,
100%.
My
And then
gay
we
pride
have
shirt.
Miley Cyrus over here
Cyrus.
staring into your soul with her blue eyes.
Hanny Montani.
Hanny Montani. The best music.
Let's
Were
talk
you a
about
Hannah
music.
Montana fan?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, me too. I always
I
wanted
was
to go to the
there.
concerts and stuff like that. Never did.
I was there. When Hannah Montana came on the television, I was seated. I was
Oh, me
ready.
too.
I
Me too.
watched the shit
I
out
was
of
in
that.
deep. Remember Hannah Montana Forever?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
So good.
I remember that show. Oh my gosh. I love that show. It was so good though.
It really was the drama in it. Woo. And
Yes.
then the music was good too. Like
Yeah.
honestly, there are still some songs I listen to all the time.
I sang a Hannah Montana song for one of my elementary school talent shows.
Really? Which one?
Yeah, I think I sang One in a Million.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. One in a million.
I listen to Ordinary Girl all
Oh
the
my
time.
God.
I'm just an ordinary girl. It's so
I
good.
I remember in summer camp, um, we would like we would do the what the hell was that song from the Hannah Montana movie? Oh my
Oh,
God, not The Climb. We would do that one, but what was it was like the dance one. What the
oh
fuck
the
was it called?
oh my god, I know what you're talking about. The one that put your hock in the sky, move
Yeah,
side to
yeah,
side,
yeah.
jump to
Pop
the
it,
left,
lock it,
get
poker,
slide.
dot it.
Yeah. What is it called?
Petrify it.
Hip hop and put your head
Jump to the left, kick it, slide. Zigzag, cross the
across the
floor,
floor, shuffle in
double and
diagonal.
diagonal.
Hands on your hips, 1 foot in 180 twist and no
182.
wait. What?
Oh my God, what is it called?
The hoe down, throw down.
Yes.
There we go. I
Oh my
I had to like go through the whole dance in my head.
I was trying to go through the lyrics.
Yeah.
Do the hoe down.
Throw down.
Do the hoe down. Oh my God,
That
banger.
was so good. I don't know what they put in that music, but it like
Yeah.
sticks with you. It's so good.
Oh
Holds
my
up.
God. But yeah. What is your favorite type of music, like genre or something?
Okay. Did you know that Spotify actually tells you, like when you go to search,
Really?
it tells you your top like genres? Mine is always rock and indie. Let me see if it changed. As soon as you go to the search
Oh, I
page,
think I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
tiles that
Your
show
top
up.
genres. Mine rock. Well, you
Yeah.
can't really see it, but like
Mine's
rock
rock
and
and
indie.
indie
Oh, we're the
as well.
same twins yet again.
Aw, Twin Cherry?
Ooh, the
Yeah.
relevance.
But like, what would you say it is?
I would say that's true. I listen to mostly rock.
Yeah. Would you say there's like any micro genre that you think?
Dream pop.
Hmm.
I love dream pop. I honestly, okay, I say I listen to just rock, but I listen to so many different things. I
Yeah,
can't
me
even put it
too.
into like a category. It's
And there's
just
so
such a
many, yeah, and there's so many like
widespread.
sub
Yeah.
genres,
I just listen
you
to what
know?
sounds good to me.
Just to what my brain worms tell me.
Yeah. Is there like an album you've recently been listening to a lot? Whether it's new
An
or old?
album?
Yeah. It could be a song too.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I know for like a whole day, I was like only listening to Arctic Monkeys albums. And I don't mean in
Yeah.
like a playlist. Like you know how they have like the This is Arctic Monkeys playlist or whatever.
Mhm.
Or I have a playlist on my account that I made myself that is like every Arctic Monkey song on Spotify, except for the ones I don't like. Um which is only like two. But yeah, I'm not talking about those though. I'm talking
Mhm.
about like listening to the
To
album
full albums and
in
then going to the next.
order.
Oh, in
Yeah,
order.
yeah. I have to listen to albums
That's
in order.
fun.
It really depends.
Okay.
I don't I do sometimes listen to albums shuffled, but I don't like to.
Oh yeah, no, I would never listen to an album shuffle. Well, I mean, I
Like
guess I have in the
like
past.
sometimes if I've listened to it before, yes.
Yeah, but brand new albums, if I'm listening to it
Oh,
for the
brand new
first time, there's
albums.
no
Oh my God.
whoever puts it on shuffle for the first time, they have demons
Psychopath.
in them. Literally crazy.
They need therapy.
Because I
Like
feel like there's a story to the order. There always is.
yeah, and some albums like I know Tranquility Base does this. Some of the songs fade into the next.
Yeah, I love that shit. I
And
love that.
like Pink Floyd albums, could you imagine listening to a Pink Floyd album like
On
Dark Side of
shuffle
the Moon
play?
on shuffle?
You know what I do with every
That's
song?
out of
When I
bounds.
do have it on shuffle, I have it on the fade effect.
Oh
You
yeah,
have that
yeah,
too? I
yeah.
love it.
I remember when we were getting ready for, was it the Strokes, and you had that fade effect on, and some of the songs faded so well into each other.
And some really did not.
Some were no,
But
some
it's
were
so cool to
not.
see what actually does work. Because if you put
Yeah,
ones that have the same tempo or like stuff like that, it like it's
yeah.
flawless.
Or
It's
like
so great.
some of the same, like I think it like in the same key or some of the same
Yes.
chords.
Yes.
Like I know there was that thing that was like that went viral on TikTok like forever ago, and
Was
it
it like a
was
1975 song and then
and Harry Styles.
Harry
No,
Styles?
it
Yeah.
was a Harry Styles song, Into Robbers by 1975. I
Yeah.
don't remember what Harry Styles song though.
Falling, maybe? Was it that
Maybe,
one?
I think it was.
Yeah.
And like the end of that faded into Robbers really well.
Oh,
I
I
remember
love that. It's
yeah,
so
I love when
perfect.
that happens. But for me, genres, I don't know. Like you said, like I listen to so many
Mm.
things. Oh, to answer your question, Tranquility Base was the album that I was listening to a lot lately. I was just returning to that because of all the Arctic Monkeys news that has kind of been coming out more and
There's
more.
news.
Well, uh, news
The
in
recents
quotation
of
marks.
Alex.
The
The
reasons of Alex
Are
and
they gonna
Jamie.
release anything soon?
Yeah, because it's been
Oh
like
my
over 4 years.
Like I don't
No,
get
but
it.
no, literally, like Matt has been saying the album is almost done for like 4 years now. But yeah, so just like I don't know, because they like them releasing has been on my mind lately. So
Yeah.
I've just been in the mood to listen to them
I gotta
a
do that
lot.
too, so I can be like really prepared when they come back. Aren't they
Yeah.
starting their tour next month?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. They've said nothing about their
They literally
album.
haven't. They
Do you
haven't.
think it's gonna come out this year?
I mean, okay. So the most recent thing that Matt has said is that they're putting the final touches on it. Like
Yeah.
they're fixing and stuff like that, basically. So it's done.
Wait,
And
no, it's not even that. You want to hear something? He
what?
was on Instagram Live pretty recently and he said it's done. And he said that it's
Yeah.
coming anytime now. And I'm like, anytime, like,
So it's probably just like finalizing stuff.
yeah. But like,
I think you know what I think? I don't think they're gonna announce it soon. I think they're gonna play some new stuff at the new dates because
that's
they're
what I was
coming up.
thinking.
So
They
I
did
think
that too, but
yeah,
with Tranquility Base, they didn't put any singles or
exactly.
anything out, but they
It
played the
just
new
played
songs
stuff.
live. I
Yeah. So
love
I
when they
think
do that.
oh my god, yeah, it's so cool. Like it's so but it's so it sucks too because it's like I want to be there, you know? One of
Yeah.
these days I want to be there when they do something like that.
That must be cool for the people who are actually
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
there.
The
Oh
Eastern
my god, I could
European.
not imagine.
Yeah, that's probably going to be so fun. But like yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. And this
Yeah.
just confirms it. Like he literally said it's like pretty much done, you know. And they're just like finalizing last touches, you know.
I have a
So that's
theory
probably
on
what they're going to do.
why they won't put out a single because I feel like singles are just a money grab, and I feel like they don't even care about that anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's more
okay,
of a promotional thing, and I feel like they don't even care about doing that.
I feel like putting out a single is probably more beneficial for a newer artist.
Yeah, same.
And they're so like I feel like more established artists like Arctic Monkeys or The Strokes or Beyonce, like I feel like they don't necessarily have to put out a
Yeah,
single, but like I still think putting out a single isn't necessarily just a money grab.
yeah,
For some I can see it as just being a money grab, but I feel like it can also function as like, you know, to get people excited, you know, because people get a little restless.
yeah. Just a
And so
little
if you,
taste of what they're gonna
yeah,
get.
if you put like a single out or like an
Yeah,
album trailer, I feel like that gets people excited or that gets people like, oh my god, you know, like I'm so excited and stuff like that. So that I can see, but I feel like in terms of necessity, I feel like they're a little more necessary for smaller artists,
yeah.
you know, because when you're
Then they'll
just
get more
starting
like
out,
plays on that single. Maybe
yeah,
people get
exactly,
excited about their other work. Yeah,
and it gives people time to like listen to you and to be like, okay, well, this is a cool artist. I like this song. You know, oh, they're releasing something soon. Oh, let me keep tabs on that. You know, so it gets more people watching out for your stuff. But yeah, I like, but I like that they don't put out a single because I
yeah.
feel like that fits them.
Yeah,
as an
because like the full
artist.
body of work just together to hear that all at the same
Yeah,
time is such
I
a
feel
cool
like
experience. That's why I think I like
exactly.
Tranquility Base so much because we really didn't know what to expect besides a few lives. You know what I
And,
mean?
yeah, and besides that like teaser trailer thing that they
Yeah,
did, which and I think a lot of that plays into the fact that it was more so an experience rather
yeah,
than just an album, you know? Like it was a whole aesthetic and concept and experience, which also kind of makes it sad that I feel like it fizzled out before it should have.
no, me too. I think they could have
Like,
went further with it.
yeah, it's such a cinematic album. I feel like it could they like
A
if
few
it
more
were,
music videos, please.
yeah, like literally if it were me, because there was like a story amongst the music
There
videos, like
was.
you
I
could
feel
kind
like
of pick out some things. I feel
yeah,
like there
there
was
was
a
meant to be
concept there.
more.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
there's a concept there, but things kind of like happened
money, time, the
and
pandemic.
kind of, yeah, personal experiences, maybe like,
Yeah,
stuff happening in personal lives. But I feel like if it were me and I had all the money in the world, I would have done like a music video for every
every
song,
song
and
that
it
would
would
have
have
been so
tied
cool.
in, and like if you played them back to back, it would
It'd
have
be
been
like a
like,
movie.
yes, exactly.
That would be so cool. They could. I really
Exactly.
feel like that was their intent to do
Yeah, or
something
something
like that
like that,
because it
like
felt
a,
like more was coming, but then just nothing.
yeah, yeah. Like I feel like the videos that they did put out, like there was a story there was some kind of like plot going on, and I feel like even if they put out two more videos, I feel like there was like something more there, like it was supposed to be like a collective piece rather than just separate music videos, which kind of upsets me because I feel like the concept for that album was just so sick and I wish we could have lived in it more,
For
because like
sure.
the imagery and like the, I don't know, it
It
was
was
just
such
so
a cool
cool.
era though.
It
Like I always look back on
was,
it like,
oh
oh, that was
man,
so fun.
yeah, it was so like glam rock meets
Yes.
like meets like
Remember the
lounge.
excitement of everything just coming out? Like a
Yes,
new
oh my
music video. We're like,
god,
everyone's
yes,
posting. Oh, I
new
miss 2018
pictures,
so much.
low key,
That
me
was such a
too.
fun year for
It was so
music. There was
good.
tons of music that year
There was,
besides Arctic
yeah,
Monkeys.
there was tons of cool stuff.
That was
The
probably my favorite year ever.
Yeah, I'm excited for AM7 though,
Oh, me too.
because like I mean, well, I sent you the post. I think it was like, has it leaked or something. Someone, there's like people on the internet that somehow like listen to the albums or get to hear pieces of it, or snippets or whatever, and they like give their thoughts, or like they try to convey what it is.
Yeah.
And based on what they said, I'm excited. Like if like I mean, I'm excited. I was excited beforehand, but even based on what they said, I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah. Didn't even Matt say that it was going to be similar to Tranquility Base, but more upbeat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like, but I
I
was
think
expecting
that's
that
what the
too.
people want, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I was expecting that. Like that's kind of what they did between Suck It and See and Arch and AM.
Yeah.
They kind of, I think it might be just like building off of, I remember, you know what, I remember seeing him say that it was like building off of like what they
Already
started,
did. Yeah.
and kind of like,
Oh, I
refining it or
really
doing
can't
different stuff.
wait. That's
Me
going to be
too,
so
because
fun.
they never like repeat a sound, and I love that.
Exactly.
I love that. But it like it's always evolving, and
But you still know it's them. Like it still feels so
yes,
them.
it's like everything is so different, but you still, there's still something, an
Yeah.
essence there, that you're like, this is an Arctic Monkey song, but it's so different.
I like that they
And
change because there's so many bands who'll listen to them and it's the same thing over and over again,
exactly,
which
see,
isn't necessarily a negative thing because at least they know
yeah,
their sound and that
yeah,
can be cool for like specific bands, but it's nice to also hear a band that can do multiple things, not just the same.
yeah, like it's good for a band, I think, to have range,
Yeah, range.
especially like when building a discography, because it's like
Yes.
when you start to build a discography and then you have 3 or 4 albums that all sound the same with very slight differences, then it's like, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it gets boring. Like that's
Yeah.
one of my many problems with the 1975.
Yeah. Or
And
do you
it's
remember
not.
Catfish and the Bottlemen? All their albums
Oh
sound
yeah,
exactly the same.
I only listened to a few songs of Catfish, and I only listened to a few songs of 1975, and I feel like once you listen to like a couple, you've listened to all of them
Yeah.
because they all sound the same. And it's not even that it's bad, it's just that like it's kind of like, okay, well, what else can we do, you know?
Exactly. You know who I'm scared is gonna fall into that?
Inhaler.
Inhaler. It feels
We
like
were gonna find a way. We were gonna
gonna find a
find
way to
a
talk about
way.
that. Well, it's
No,
music.
but
We can talk about
it is.
Inhaler.
We
I'm
were kind of
scared they're
getting.
gonna fall into that because
Me
I really
too.
thought they
Me
were gonna
too.
go into something so different this
Yeah.
next album, and the fact they haven't. We've already voiced
Well,
our opinion on this.
well,
but
the
it's
thing
just
is,
like,
I mean, the thing is, I don't know if we can judge the
based on
second
the
album
single.
based on These Are the Days. Because I don't know.
That song just kind of flopped. That's
It's like it I don't know. It's just I don't know what to say. I mean,
we're
I
their
really
biggest fans, yet their biggest haters.
the thing is I don't even consider myself their biggest fan.
Well, true. Me too.
That's the funny thing. I feel like judging by how much we talk about them on our podcast,
It
you would
seems like
think
we're their biggest fans
yeah,
ever.
you
But
would
like,
think we're like the number one Inhaler fans, but we really aren't. Like
we're
I
not in
literally
on everything like everyone
no,
else is.
I don't know anything about them.
We just
I
know
know
they
nothing about
slay and serve cunt.
yeah, they're just Ryan serves cunt. That's a good thing, by the way. But yeah, like it's fun. It's funny how much we talk about them and how like they're not even in my top 5 favorites. I just like
Yeah.
them, you know. I just listen to them. I wouldn't. I'm not even sure if I would put them in my top 10 if I'm being honest.
I think I might put them in my top 10.
They might
I
be
don't
at
know.
11. They might be at 11.
Wait, should we do our top 5? I don't think I could.
Our top 5 favorite artists?
Wait, we should go. You know the what is it? The Spotify streams. You could see who your top 5
Last
listen to.
FM?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I don't have Last
mine.
FM, but I can. I'm gonna do this.
I looked at my Last FM the other day, and Inhaler were much lower than I thought they would be.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
oh no.
I'm kind of gagged. Like, it's kind of funny.
Oh, remember when I posted that thing and you're like, Inhaler's not even on there, and they're at the very bottom.
Oh yeah. What?
I feel like okay, like I listen to them, but I guess I don't listen to them as much as I thought I did. Here, I'll tell you who my top artists are right now. For the last 6, or should I do all time? Maybe the last 6 months. My top is Mitski. That's surprising.
That's kind of funny.
Then the Strokes, Radiohead. Where's Inhaler? What the Inhaler's only number 17. Burger King?
You're gonna gag. From July 1st to July 7th, my top 5 artists are Arctic Monkeys, U2, Coast Contra, Duran Duran, and Talking Heads.
Oh
The only
my
reason
God.
it's like mostly 80s artists because I was listening to my 80s playlist for a while.
Oh.
But it's just funny how U2's in
Oh wait,
there.
what's your favorite Talking Head song?
Oh man.
That's such a hard one.
That is a hard one. I'll tell you mine. Girlfriend is Better. I love that one.
All time. Okay, here we go. All time top artists scrabbled. Number 1. Well, I'll do 5 to 1. Okay.
Okay.
So at number 5, which this is funny because this is a recent addition to my music library, is Fontaine's DC.
Right.
And that's all time, by the way. Number 4 is Alexandra Savior, Queen.
Yes.
Number 3 is Agnes Obel, Queen. Love her. Number 2, coming in hot, The Strokes.
Of course.
And then at number 1, with a whopping 3,471 Scrabbles, is Arctic Monkeys.
Woo!
Let's see where Inhaler is. Inhaler's at number 10. Okay.
That's not bad. Where's Arctic Monkeys on mine? Let me go to all time. Arctic Monkeys is my number 3 all time. Okay, this is my top all time artists. You ready?
Yeah.
The Strokes, Radiohead, Arctic Monkeys, Lana Del Rey, Easy Life. That's my top 5. And
That's
then
kind of
yeah, that's crazy.
that is so
I
funny.
feel like it's really giving Manipulator. It really is. Where's Fiona Apple on my list?
Yeah, like I'm gagged. Why is Fiona Apple's at 23 for me? I'm really surprised. I thought the amount of times I've streamed I Know would
I've been
kind of
listening to nothing but that for the past month.
that song.
Yeah, that song.
I love that
I
song.
know. She's number 20 for me for all time, but number 1 for this month.
What's your top 5 most listened to albums of all time?
Albums?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to find that.
Oh, I'm on Last FM, so
Oh. Well, I could tell you my top songs. You ready?
okay. I'm gonna
Of
pull
all
up mine
time?
too. Of all time. Top 5 songs of all time.
We have Pop Shop by Courting, but
I love that song.
Well, listen to this. The only reason that's my top, I wanted to get them more streams because this is before they were starting to blow up. So I played it for like 3 days straight, and then I ended up being like the top person to ever stream that song. And I'm like,
Yo,
I streamed it
that
like
happened to
1,000
me.
times.
That happened to me with Running Up That Hill. I was like listening to that song only for like 2 days straight, and then I got a notification when I opened Spotify the other day, and it was like, you're in the top 0.05% of
Oh
Running Up
my
That Hill
God.
listeners. I was like, and then it was like, look at your upside
That's
down playlist. I was like, I
crazy.
haven't even seen this one season. I just really like that song.
And then second is You Only Live Once by The Strokes.
Period.
I play that song all the time. Then we have
Period.
Soundcheck by Catfish and the Bottlemen, Francis Forever by Mitski, and then Soft Currents by Alexandra Savior. My
Oh,
top
that's in
5.
mine too. That's in my top 5. So my top 5 is at number 5 is Show Me How by Men I Trust. I love that song.
Ooh,
Number 4 is Crying All the Time by Alexandra Savior.
perfect.
Number 3 is The Archer by Alexandra Savior. Number 2 is Soft Currents by Alexandra Savior. And number 1, with a whopping 128 Scrabbles, is Girly by Alexandra Savior.
You could say you're a savior head.
I
Is that
am
what our fans are called? Savior heads.
I'm a saviorb. Like Barb,
Saviorb.
but Alexandra Savior.
Wait, that's kind of good.
Wait, let me tell you my top 5 albums of all time.
Do it.
Okay, so at number 5 is the Pride and Prejudice 2005 soundtrack.
Perfect.
Number 4 is Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not, which I'm kind of gagged about, to be honest.
Didn't you say you don't like that album?
Yeah, like it's towards the bottom of my ranking of Archie Monkey's albums, which is kind of funny. Number 3 is Tranquility Base.
Okay, makes sense.
Number 2 is AM.
Ooh.
It looks like I'm much more nostalgic than I think I am. And number 1, because it's like one of the only albums I listen to in full when I'm bored, is The Archer by Alexandra Savior.
Of course.
I love
We
her.
love
It's
it.
funny. It's funny because no, she isn't my top 5 favorite artist. She's a lot lower than I thought she would be in my top 5 favorite
Oh, let me
artists.
see her in my top because I listen to her all the time, but I feel like I never see her in my top.
Yeah.
Let me see real quick. Oh my God, where is she? She's 21. She's right after Fiona Apple, which kind of makes sense. I feel like I listen to them about the same.
Let me see what my top artists in the last year from 2021. My top artists were at number 5, Arctic Monkeys. At number 4, Dario Marianelli, who is the composer for the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack. Number 3 is Alexandra Savior. Number 2 is Agnes Obel, and then number 1 is The Strokes.
La Strokes.
La Strokes.
Did you see the photo Julian posted today?
I love it.
The
I was
selfie?
actually gonna make that my
Your picture.
Zoom background.
We
yeah.
both should have done that.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny if we both did it and then we started the Zoom call.
And we're like, oh, I'm scared
I
of
wonder
them.
in the last month. Oh, that's an interesting collection.
Oh, let's hear that.
Top music from June 2022. This is the last month. My top artist was Arctic Monkeys. My number 2 artist was Fontaine's DC. My
Okay.
number 3 artist was The Strokes. My number 4 artist was Alexandra because for like a whole week straight, I was listening to the Submarine EP.
Of course.
And then my number 5 artist was Blur.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Blurhead.
Blurhead, a blarb, if you
A
will.
blarf.
Mhm. It's funny because my top albums from June, it's like 3 of them are Fontaine's DC albums. My top track is I Know by Fiona Apple, and then the second one is Running Up That Hill. What was I going
wait.
through?
I Know is number 6 on my top tracks for this month. I've been listening to Touch Tank a lot. That's my number 1. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh, it's really good. Okay, I have a question for you. What's your
Yes.
least favorite type of music?
My least favorite type of music.
Yes.
Probably country.
Mm.
I'm not
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's just like, and you could say this about any genre of music, but I feel like it's just really predictable.
Mm.
And like I just don't like the way that they sing. And I'm specifically talking about like
Modern country, right? Like the
yeah,
newest
like
songs on the
Florida
radio.
Georgia Line, you know?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like
I agree to an
yeah.
extent.
I
Feel
really
yeah, go on.
I just feel like they all sing a certain way and it you know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
100%. It's the same thing over and over again.
yeah. But I mean, you put on Dolly Parton and I'm up.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like old country or like vintage
Yeah.
country
Or
that
even when you
had
get
something
into
about it, or folk. I
yeah.
feel like they kind of intertwine in a way.
Yes.
I
Cuz
love
like
that.
I mean like Hozier is kind of folky,
Yeah.
I would say, you know. I do like folky type music, you know. I feel like Bob Dylan is another one is kind of folky.
Yeah.
But yeah, the like I don't know what they're
The
like
top charts
yeah,
country
like the
these
Florida
days
Georgia
are not
Line
it.
country, you
Yeah.
know. But like Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood, I
That
know every word.
that goes off.
That's a banger,
And see, that
you
one's not
know.
even that old, but I feel like past that point is when it started to become the same thing. Or maybe
Yeah.
even at that time, there were
Yeah, there
things.
it's like I hate country, but like a few exceptions.
I hate country, but I used to listen to all of Taylor Swift's older work. You know what I mean?
See, with Taylor Swift, like I was never really a Swiftie.
Right.
I feel like I'm like one like I don't hate her and I don't think she makes bad music,
It's
but
just not your thing.
yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
there are a couple songs that like I heard that, you know, I liked, but
Mm.
at the time, you know, like Safe and Sound off the Hunger Games soundtrack and stuff like that. But now I just don't think I think I'm past, you know,
Yeah. I feel like
the
if you don't listen to her like from like
growing
day
up.
one, you're
Yeah.
not gonna like her in general.
Yeah, and it's like like I don't dislike her as a person. I really have no thoughts about her, to be honest.
Mm.
Like I just feel neutral towards her. Like I don't really, you know, I don't really think much about it. And
It's part of me kind of feels bad because I feel like, you know, so many people rave about her music and, you know, she's like one of the most popular artists and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I feel like I'm missing out, but at the same time, like I have listened to her music and it's just like okay, like this is fine, but I
You just
don't
can't
think
connect to it.
yeah, I just don't I would never go back to it, you know? Like I would listen to it and I'm like I don't hate this, but it's just not something that I can see like I would realistically look up, put into a playlist, listen to. It's just like
Mhm.
not the type that I would listen to. But yeah, like going off of saying that I don't like country, that does not include blues and like bluegrass and what are other ones I'm missing? Those types of
Yeah.
music. I love those. Like, oh my God. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm
Like
on like the same page as you.
yeah, like the tinny guitar sound, like yeah, and it's like lyric, it's like improv lyrics, and it's just like
Yeah.
some old
It's so
guy.
like raw and real.
Yeah, it's just some old guy with like a voice that sounds like he smoked 6 packs a minute.
Of course.
Like, and it was just cigarettes and scotch was all he like consumed. And just singing about like terrible heartbreak to like
Oh
a
yeah.
tinny, like plucky guitar. Oh, I just
That's
love
the
it.
good stuff.
Yeah, and it's also like it's very like um it's like really storybook, if you get what I'm saying. Like you listen to it, you feel like you're listening to a story. It's not just like a song, it's a story, you
That's
know.
true.
Like I watched we watched this together, didn't we? On Netflix. We watched a documentary. It was called The Devil at the Crossroads.
Did we watch it
Was it
together?
you that
I don't think it was
watched it with?
me.
I watched it with someone.
I don't know.
Oh, I watched it. Okay, I watched it. Okay, I know who I watched it with. It was a different friend. I thought it was you because I don't know.
We
It was a
could
long.
watch it together.
We could. I think you would enjoy it. But it's like a documentary on Netflix, and it's about, I don't remember what his name is, but he was like a well-known like blues guitarist, and the whole story was that like he was okay at playing guitar, but then like one night, like you know how like folk tales and shit happen,
Oh, is it
and
like the story of that guy who went and like sold his soul to the devil and then he
yeah,
became
at a
like really good?
crossroads, and he became the
Yeah.
best guitarist in the
And then he died
world.
very young, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it was just like the documentary about that, and I just loved, I don't know, watching it because
Do
it's
you
like,
believe in that kind of stuff? Do you
oh,
think people can, yeah?
100%.
Who do you think sold their souls? Be honest. In the industry, name them all now. Who's going to this crossroads? Please,
Oh
I
my
need to
god, no,
know.
but I like shit like that. I don't
Yeah,
know,
me
and
too.
I feel like blues and bluegrass has like, there's like a mysticism, like magic,
Undertones to it, yeah.
yeah, folk tale about it. That's like, you listen to it and you feel like you're part
There's a
of
lore
something.
to it almost.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I like. That's the type of like country music that I like.
Yeah, me too.
But like the shit about like Daisy Dukes being the back of a pickup truck with a 6-pack of Coors, like, bro,
It's unrelatable. I feel
it's
like I feel
like,
like you cross that point to where it's only like a very niche, like actual
yeah,
country people. And I feel like in the old days it was just about like genuine, like what was on your
yeah,
mind,
it
what was
was,
hurting your
well,
heart
a
that
lot of
anyone
like,
could relate to.
yeah, like you think about like a lot of quote unquote folk country music from like back in the day, and it was like working man talking about the struggles of being like a poor laborer,
Right.
like you think of what's his name that sang, um oh my god, his name is escaping me, but it's like, I don't know if you know it, but it's like that song about like the Dust Bowl, or this land,
Mm.
oh, something Guthrie, that's his name. He This Land Is Your Land. You know that
Okay. Yeah.
song?
This land
That's
is
like, yeah, yeah, that was like, they're like protest songs basically.
yeah.
A lot of them are like, were like personal stories, and like stories about being like a working class, or a hard labor
There was
worker.
something
And
real and relatable about those things.
yeah, and it wasn't like manufactured. And I feel like there's a lot of country music now, and this is just our opinion, obviously. Like if you listen to country music, like who really
All the
cares?
country folk are coming for us.
All the country stands.
But they
No,
should
but
know
it's
that
like,
I'm a country person. So,
you're literally from
yeehaw,
the
I'm in the
South.
South right
You're
now,
allowed to We're
sipping on
allowed to say
sweet
this.
tea, injecting Dr. Pepper in my veins.
Yeah,
Come on.
but I feel like, I don't know, and I can say this about other genres. Like there's other genres that I feel like it's just, there's like not really much going on. Like it's kind of like empty, if that makes
I feel like
sense.
you could say the same about pop.
Yeah,
Because I feel like, okay,
some
if you
pop,
go
yeah.
past pop, there's good pop, but I feel like the majority of what's
Yeah.
on the radio, you could relate to what's on the
There
radio with
is,
country.
yeah, there is a
You know what I
lot.
mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of pop that is very clearly manufactured. But like, I just mean like that ABCDFU song.
Yeah.
That is
F
so
you and
that
your
is,
mom. Oh,
that
wait, do
is
you remember that one? What's wrong with Disney? Disney. They tricked me, tricked me. You don't know that song?
no.
Oh my God, that was one of those. It's the
But it's
same
like,
thing.
those like nursery rhyme
Yes, I hate
songs,
those.
and it's like those are so clearly manufactured to try to replicate what Olivia Rodrigo did, which
Yes.
is funny because
Mhm.
she never did a nursery rhyme song.
But also what I think is crazy, a lot of those songs are made just to go viral or just to go on like
Yeah.
TikTok or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, at what point does that destroy the music industry to where it's just like a
Exactly.
7-second hook and that's it for the song and the
Exactly.
rest of it's just
Like
shit.
you're making songs just for a piece of it to go viral, like a 15-second moment of it, so that people can use it in TikToks. Then you have songs that sound like shit for 90% of it, and then 10% of it is like, oh, that's a cool part because that's the part that was in
And they
TikTok.
play the chorus like 16 times throughout the song.
Exactly. And then you have like these people that take the songs on TikTok and then hike up the octave, and then it's all like
And then it's Nightcore.
Alvin and the Chipmunks sounding.
Yeah.
And then you have then you have like Nightcore Alvin and the Chipmunks running up that hill. And it's like I'll be scrolling through reels sometimes because I don't have TikTok. Yeah. And it's so annoying. Like, yeah. I'm so glad I deactivated and deleted TikTok when I did, because if I would scroll through TikTok and have to hear running up that hill in like a million different ways, like on and like over and over and over and over again, that would ruin that song for me. And that's like one of my favorite songs. I love that song. You know, it's like, I don't really care if people find a song from a TV show or if they find a song from a TikTok. I've found songs that I like from TikTok. I've found artists that I like from TikTok. I really don't care. I don't have a complex about that. If you do have a complex, please go outside and breathe some air, or open a window, you know, get in touch with some nature really quick because it's really not that big of a deal, you know? But I feel like on one hand, TikTok can do a lot for an artist. There's a lot of artists that, you know, got picked up and seen and now have great careers because of TikTok.
Right.
But then on the other hand, I feel like it has the potential to create like one-hit wonders.
Yeah, it's a one-hit wonder machine.
Yes, because now people are making shit to be a one-hit wonder.
They don't even care about like longevity or like a career. It's all about just getting the clicks on that one thing and then like living off whatever you get from that one thing.
Yeah.
And not thinking about the long term because everything's so immediate on there.
And it's like it just kind of creates this like, now it's like it creates a whole like influx of empty produced like fabricated music that
it's
is
all
just
the same
like,
thing too, like it all sounds exactly the same,
and it's all like the same kind of lyrics.
Yeah,
you know, like fuck you and your mom and you manipulated me, you're a snake. That's literally what they could all be like, you know, reduced to. It's like, okay, like, you know, write about your pain, but like actually write about it. Don't just write zingers that will look good in a makeup TikTok.
No,
with
literally.
some transition, like, you know. And I feel bad for like ripping on it, but I feel like a lot of people would agree that it's like there's a lot of songs that go quote unquote viral on
it's just
TikTok
catchphrases
now.
Exactly,
It's just catchphrases. It's just a song of catchphrases.
No, for real.
And it really annoys me because I feel like now you have a whole bunch of artists who are already developed before TikTok happened, and then TikTok happened and now it's like a big thing, everyone's on TikTok,
right?
And now record labels are like, you have to make TikToks, you have to do this so it can go viral on TikTok, you have to do that so it can go viral on TikTok. And it's like, now it's like, oh my god, it's like everyone is making a TikTok, every artist is making a TikTok. It's like, stop.
You know what annoys me? I feel like nowadays, especially artists from TikTok, they try to replicate 3 specific artists' voice: Billie Eilish, Olivia, and Phoebe Bridgers. They try to sound like them so constantly. I don't know if you've ever seen those TikToks of people, they're like, this is my original song. It's literally like a knockoff Phoebe Bridgers song. They do the exact same voice and everything. And it's like, where do you lose the originality? Because you're just trying to sound like these other artists. Try to find something within yourself. It's just like, I feel like that happens so much.
And there's a lot of difference, and this isn't to put down like taking inspiration from an artist.
That's different than like replicating your whole
there's a lot of there's a lot of difference between being inspired by an artist and like using that as a stepping off point to develop your own sound and to find, you know, your own creativity, that versus like literally just ripping off a song and like repackaging it rewording some shit. It's like, oh, can I copy your schoolwork? Yeah, make sure it looks like you didn't cheat. And it's just like rewording shit. It's like, find and replace, changing I'm to I am, it's
Yeah.
it's obvious what it is. And it annoys me because it's like, because I'm like, what are you saying with this song though? What exactly are you saying with this song?
They're saying nothing. It's so empty.
They're
not
saying
real.
so much, but yet so little. And it's like, if you want to write a song, sit down, write a song, like really write a song if you want to write a song, but don't just like write some nursery rhyme song or like, oh, you're a snake, I hate your mom and I hate your sister, like
it's been done before. Just do
clearly.
Yeah.
We don't want any more of that, and it's like people heard Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo, which is very clearly like a very real song. Like she wrote that about an experience.
Yeah.
And because I love Olivia, I think she's so good, and I can't wait to see what else she does. And I really hope like with music that I really hope whatever she puts out now is like they let her really dive into hardcore shit, because it seems like she wants to. Based on like based on like the covers that she's been doing and like the artists that she's really been like trying to work with, like
oh my god, did you see her performance with Lily Allen?
Yeah, didn't she perform with Avril Lavigne too, or am I tripping?
She did, I think too. Yeah.
So it's like she clearly wants to go into like a punky kind of, cool kind of way, and I really hope they don't pigeonhole her into like the teen girl pop.
Dude, imagine she collabs with Machine Gun Kelly next. That's when we lose her. That's when we lose her. Did you see Willow did that?
Yeah, I mean,
what was that? I used to love Willow.
Yeah, Willow. Okay,
come
on, girl. But like, I really have hope for Olivia. I hope they let her go with the punk direction, because Brutal and Good For You are such good fucking songs. They're so good, and they're like they're like the two most popular songs on that album. So I'm hoping like the label that she's with or whatever is like, oh, these are the two most popular, why don't you do this now? I hope. I just don't. I do not want her to get pigeonholed into like the teen girl pop thing.
I think she'll be able to have a creative freedom.
Yeah, because she does the punky, cool rocker really well.
She has such great stage presence.
She does.
A lot of like really newer artists, I feel like, lack in that area, but she doesn't.
Yeah. Like and I feel like that goes back to like TikTok. I feel like it's so common to like be consumed through a screen that when it comes to like playing live, I feel like
there's a disconnect.
Yeah, it's a different come up. We're talking as if we're like 40, but it's like a lot has changed since we were teenagers. Like TikTok is still fairly new, right. Like TikTok is really new. And like when I was a teenager, there was no TikTok.
We had Vine, but that was like the closest thing. It was so different.
And there wasn't like people creating songs and like music videos on Vine, and you had YouTube, but it was a lot different, it was a lot of
things didn't go viral in the way they do on TikTok or how fast it goes. Like I feel like it took a while for people to even get like a career off of just like
exactly. And it was a lot different than like the way music kind of happens on TikTok. I feel like every other video sometimes that comes up on my reels is like some band Instagram that's like, oh, here's your newest viral song, and it's like, bro, just make a fucking song. Like,
why does it have to be viral? What's this like big idea on like having to have things go viral or be like popular? I feel like with art, it doesn't have to. If one person views it, that's all that matters. But obviously people are trying to make a career off of things, so going viral would be more beneficial. But I feel like in a way you lose part of like
but it's not
the real like the part of you that like needs to make it rather than like
there's no longevity.
Yeah,
because it's like you go viral and then you're popular for a day and then the internet's moved on. People are tired of you. There's no longevity.
And like imagine that feeling of like being popular one day and then the next day there's nothing. You will feel this like this crash inside of
one day you're like the daily genius, and the next day people are like calling you mid, and saying that you're annoying, that they never liked your music anyway,
Their
or that
opinion will
whatever,
change so quick.
like that. Like, you look at artists like Arctic Monkeys, for example, they didn't break mainstream until their 5th album.
For real.
They had already broken like records in the UK
Yeah.
with their debut and stuff like that. They had 5 albums out. AM comes out, the 5th album, and then mainstream success.
In a
They
way that's
literally,
kind of inspiring though, because it shows that you can keep doing what you need to do.
exactly.
You know what I
And
mean?
also
It doesn't
they
matter
didn't,
about the
and
mainstream success.
exactly, and they became a mainstream success, quote unquote. And they like that influenced Tumblr and stuff like that. Like, they became this huge cultural thing, and it influenced a whole generation. But they also like didn't do it by creating clickbaity songs. They did it by being their authentic selves, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they established from their beginning that they're not going to do what other people want them to do. They're going to do whatever they feel like they're doing in the moment. You know, they're going to write about what they want to write about in the moment. They're going to pull from what they are inspired by in the moment. And that's what they've done since day one. And I mean, look at that body of work. It's only ever gotten better. And it's like, that shit is timeless now. Like, I listen to all those songs and I'm like, you know, these sound just as good as they did when I first heard them. Like, that shit is
They
good.
hold up.
Exactly. So what's more important, a viral video for a day, or a 20 plus year career and 6 albums showing how successful you are, and like a 6 album discography showing range, showing growth, showing like writing skills developing and instrumentals developing and all these inspirations and all these relationships that they met through the careers, and that become, you know, like, you have this amalgamation of the discography that is just the representation of a 20-year career at this point, because they debuted at their first gig in 2003 and it's going to be 2023. So that's a 20-year career that they've had.
Crazy.
It is. They've been doing this since they were like 16.
But it shows that it's possible. You don't have to have that quick. As long as you enjoy what you're doing and it's fulfilling for you.
Exactly. And like, even in the UK, they were like doing really well.
Yeah.
Like 2 albums in, 3 albums in, like, it'll like, you know, I feel like the current climate when it comes to like social media, it's like, and I feel like everyone is so burnt out by it. It's just like new all the time. Every 5 minutes, it has to be something new. And it's like this whole pressure of like putting out a viral song just so it can get famous on TikTok, you know, because numbers wise, yeah, that's going to be great for you. If you have like 10 million streams on a song, yeah, sure, that's going to be amazing. But people are going to be sick of you. Like, people are going to be sick of you within a day or two. So then what are those millions of streams going to do for you then?
Dude, again, going back to that, it's like, oh, you'll have people for a day being like, this is the new music. This is the best artist I've ever heard in my life.
And
3 days
fizzle
later,
out.
they're so annoying. They're so overrated. Like, you'll have that so soon.
It happens so quickly.
So many times. And I felt that way about people too, because I've heard their music too much scrolling through things. And it's like, okay now. And I feel bad because I feel like anyone could fall into that.
Yeah. It's really sad because it's like, you know, it's like, you have all these young people that clearly have some kind of talent, and like, they could, like, in a different climate, they could probably create some cool stuff, or you know, start out really well, but no one's really wanting to, I don't want to say wanting to, but because I'm sure there's people out there that are wanting to take it slow and trying to be authentic, but like, it's like,
there's so many people who are not doing that.
Yeah, it's conflated with like, is that the right word? Conflated? It's conflated with like all these people that it's like a get rich quick scheme.
Yes.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
the key to fame. If
Ooh.
I put out this song or two
Yeah.
that gets me famous, that gets me 10 million streams, you know, then I'll be famous, then I'll get indoors, and who cares after that, you know? And that's like,
What I
what the
want to
fuck,
know
man?
is your opinion on like those kind of people who are so into like, this is kind of off topic, but it's not. The kind of
Mm.
people who are so into like music theory that they make their music perfect and by kind of like a template almost. And it's like maybe like a Charlie Puth kind of thing where he's so entwined with music, or like he can match the pitch so perfectly, yet his music sounds so like mainstream and so generic. Like, how do
Oh,
you feel about that kind of thing? Because I feel like
I've
people who are
never,
always into music theory always end up making the most generic music compared to people who
interesting.
just like learn on their own by the sound.
You know what? Okay. As someone who has a theater background, I feel like I can give some kind of insight to this.
Yeah.
So with theater backgrounds and stuff like that, and someone being like very learned, like having a background in music theory, like Charlie Puth, for example. I don't know what his background is. I don't know if maybe he went to school for it or
I
not.
think
I
he
don't know.
did.
Yeah, so that explains it. I
Yeah.
feel like when you go to school for something, or like vocal lessons, when someone takes vocal lessons to become a musical theater performer or an opera performer, or you know, just professional singer like that, they learn a certain way to do something.
Right.
And when you spend years learning it and being told this is how you do it, this is how you make this sound, stuff like that, that's like the only way you can do it, you know? Like
Because
an
then in your brain it's like, oh, I can't do it this way
yeah,
because that's not the
because
way I
then
learned how to do it.
it's all muscles too, like it's muscle
Yeah.
memory. So an opera singer learns how to sing opera, which, fun fact, is considered one of the cleanest ways to sing, which is why you have opera singers who are like well into their 70s that still sound amazing, because
Yeah.
you know they take care of their vocal cords. But you have opera singers that learn how to sing opera, and then that's the only way they can really sing, because that's how they're taught. You can't have an opera singer like um what's her name, like you can't have an opera singer like, I don't know if I'll pronounce this right. Kiri Tekanawa. She's like a Dame Kiri Tekanawa. She's like an opera singer. I listen to opera, by the way. But she probably can't sing a song like Carrie Underwood,
Yeah.
you know, because she knows a certain type of singing. That's what her career's been, and that's how she's going to sing it. She could sing a Carrie Underwood song, but it's not going to sound like a Carrie Underwood
No.
song. So you have people like that, and musical theater people that sing songs a certain way because that's how they're taught. And like Charlie Puth, he went to school for that. That's how he was taught. But then you have people that did not go to school for singing or for music. Maybe they just got like a guitar lesson or piano lessons or whatever. And they're kind of basing it off of artists that they like, or songs that they like, or whatever it is, whatever inspiration. They're not taking from a theory, they're taking from
Experience or like around
experiences,
them.
exactly, and stuff that inspires them,
Yeah.
you know. So then you have people creating unique things because they don't have a
The
theory.
barriers. I feel like those
Yeah,
people have so like they're in a square, like in a box. The people
exactly.
who were classically trained
Yeah, they don't have the
versus the other
restraints,
people. Yeah.
exactly, they don't have the restraints of um a musical education, you know. It would be like a ballerina trying to dance hip hop, you
It
know.
can't happen.
It's just
Yeah.
not the way that body was
Yeah. Not
trained.
to say they're not talented in their own way, because obviously
Yeah,
if you put in that amount of work
exactly.
and stuff
and
like that,
and
it's just an
like
interesting
obvious,
kind of thing to see that
yeah,
like,
it's an interesting concept because
yeah,
it's like the talent is still there, it's just been nurtured in a very different way,
yeah,
you know. And um and I mean, like, both kinds are important to the music industry, I think,
for sure.
because if you didn't have people looking at musical theory, I feel like there's a lot of things we wouldn't know about music. Or, you know, it's kind of like, it would be like learning how to run before learning how to walk, you know. You have to learn how to do the basics in order to
Hmm.
experiment, I think.
True.
And like, when you look at people like Picasso, you know, his paintings are famous for being fucking bonkers, but he used to paint classically, you know. And you look at other painters too, like they were either trained classically or used to paint classically, and then they found their own style from that.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the times they wouldn't, like we wouldn't know certain, we wouldn't come to certain advances without knowing the basics.
Right.
So I mean, it's very fascinating because it's like you wonder, you're like, why don't you experiment even though you know all this music theory? But I mean, if he's making the music he wants to make, then good for him.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like some of the people with the music theory thing, they know what's going to work and what's going to be successful, and it kind of ties into the TikTok thing because they know what's going to work, what's going to be successful and get that hit. So maybe, because I feel like even like that kind of stuff applies to like a large amount of people, so that's why popular music is kind of popular in that way, because more people in the everyday life are going to enjoy it rather than like
not really care, rather than people on Twitter, on indie music Twitter, that are going to complain about everything.
Because the average listener of music, or not average music listener, but the average person in everyday life who listens to music occasionally or like on the radio or stuff like that, they're not going to know the difference between someone who is classically trained or someone who wasn't, but they're obviously going to listen to what's like in front of them.
And, like they're not gonna like they're not gonna care as much. It's very fascinating, but
it is very fascinating.
But I wish I was just gonna say that I don't know, I thought back to like Inhaler, and I wish they don't fall into the trap of recreating the same thing over and over again.
Any band that does that, it's just like, I feel like there is always room to grow or go a different direction, especially with the times, because I feel like I don't know, a lot of their peers are going into more of like a rougher kind of sound or like grungier kind of feel.
And they are so young
too. And they're
exactly they're so young, and I feel like it's more beneficial to put out something new and different and maybe receive a bit of mixed reviews than put out the same
thing
song,
you know what you're gonna expect
and like get people. Like I feel like it's more beneficial in the long run. And I really hope that, you know, they take that route of going where inspiration takes them rather than where, you know, it's like going the road less traveled by, I guess, but not even that it's less traveled by, but just like jumping outside of their comfort zone rather than staying in it because they know it'll work, you know.
But the only thing that like pisses me off, I guess, they have every resource to do whatever they want, because
I guess
I feel like even if the general public doesn't like what they end up doing, if it's different, they're not gonna fail from that. They can always.
But I mean, when you sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was done.
but I mean, like, bringing up Arctic Monkeys again, like probably every album that they've put out since the date before, like except the debut, has been received with mixed reviews.
100%, especially Tranquility Base.
And then the next album after it comes out, now it's like that's the mixed reviews one, and the previous one that was the mixed reviews one is a classic, or it's underrated. It goes through the same cycle.
I feel like the more controversial an album is, the more it like stays.
Exactly. Like Humbug, for example, was like super wild and different, and now it's a fan favorite.
Of course, it's always like that though. The one that's kind of like off, like
it's like weird and strange.
Critics, I suppose, and something a fan favorite, a classic.
And people called Suck It and See boring, and now it's underrated.
One of their best albums.
Exactly. People called AM overrated, and now it's a classic.
And so many people know that album now.
Exactly.
Like, music is so weird.
It is.
You know what's weird about music? There's music, and then there's the music industry. That's the thing, because you could just enjoy music, but there's always that industry that comes.
And I think once you really separate yourself from interacting with the music industry, like removing yourself from like music stan Twitter and like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, you can, like, I noticed for myself, like
once I stepped away from those spaces,
And like
I
the
s-
opinions of those other
yeah,
people,
I
you
really
were able to
I
enjoy
started
better,
to
huh?
enjoy shit better, because it's like
Yeah,
you look at
free
it
from judgment.
Exactly. And you look at it less critically, like
Yes.
you still think about it, like you still hear an album and you're thinking about what the inspirations could be, or oh, I could see what they did there, or I could see what lyrical thing he did there or she did there, they did there. You can still analyze it, but it's not in such a critical negative way. I feel like you kind of fall into, at least this was my thing, you kind of fall into a habit of, you know, being overly critical, being snobbish and pretentious. You kind of trip
Mm-hmm.
into that. And then it's like there's people that fall into the trap of like, oh well, my artist outsold yours because they did all these sales. And it's like,
Oh my God, I
once
hate
you get
that.
into that, that's where you know that you're in
It's
help.
not even
Like,
about the music at that point. It's like
exactly,
the
it's just
industry.
sales. It's
Yeah.
like, who cares, you
No,
know?
it's so
Because
nice to be able to just like listen to music, not have other people's opinion and your own opinion, and
exactly,
just like wonder
exactly,
where they came from. I like to
exactly.
read like the what the artist feels about their work
Oh, 100%.
more than like what other people feel.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I did with Tranquility Base. I
Mhm.
watched like every single. There was there was that interview, and it was the song by song interview. I forget what it was for, but it was Alex and this guy, and after every song or before every song, the guy would ask him questions about the song, like what was your inspiration for this song, why this title, like why this direction that you
Mm.
went in, and he would go into detail about all the decisions he made with the songs and like the lyric writing and why it was named that, what was the inspiration. And it was so fascinating to just listen to someone talk about why, like, or how a song came to be. And it's like, it I that is just like one of the more enjoyable parts about music, is that like,
Yeah.
you know, you listen to a song and it's like when you listen to it, you're like, oh, this is a really good song, and then you watch an interview where the artist that wrote it is like, oh yeah, these were my inspirations, this was the story, da 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 da, and then you listen to the song
And
again
you can
after that
connect
and you
it.
hear it like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what the artist said, and
Oh,
it's
I
like really
love that. That's
cool.
so fun.
It just really adds to the
It
experience.
really does.
But then it's like when you get into online spaces, I feel like it can ruin it. Like I've known people that are like, oh yeah, this artist was ruined for me because of an online space, or this movie was
Mm.
ruined for me because of an online space. Like that happens, you know?
Online spaces are not safe spaces.
Not all the time. No. Like it is good in some areas
I
because
mean,
you meet people.
sometimes it is fun to have other people's
Yeah,
opinions because obviously with everything in life, it's good to have not
exactly.
just your opinion
And also it's cool to like meet people. Like we met through those
because of
spaces.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
But I feel like nowadays especially, it's like a lot more cons than pros, you
I know
know.
exactly what you mean.
And it's like, at least this is, you know, what I noticed.
Yeah.
And then it's sad because you have your friends and you want to keep in contact with your friends, but then it's like you can't. It's like, you know, it's so toxic sometimes.
Hmm. It's
But
hard to separate like the good from the bad in those situations.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the new Arctic Monkeys album.
Me too. We should
Any
end it
day
on that
now.
note. We can't wait
Yeah.
for Arctic Monkeys.
Our
I feel like you know
AM7.
what? We talked more about Arctic Monkeys than Inhaler on this episode, and I feel like that's our
Yeah.
growth.
And nice that yes. That's our mixed
Dude,
reviews
you know what we
album.
need to do when they like drop their album? We need to have a whole episode just about their album
A
and talk
listening
about how we
party.
feel. Yes, yes,
That would be
yes.
fun.
That would be fun if we went like song by song and talked about how we felt about the songs and stuff like that. That would be really
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
I think
Wow.
that's about it. That
That
was
is about
fun.
it.
I feel
That
like we had
was
a lot of
very fun.
opinions on
Now
music.
it's funny
Yeah.
when you think about the previous episode was so chaotic and like out of bounds and crazy and so nonsensical, and then this one
This one just like connected every way, kept going.
we put our glasses on and became professors for a second.
We are philosophers.
Our sleigh, our intellectual sleigh.
For
But
real.
yeah, well, thanks for joining us
Thanks for listening.
for another week.
Yeah.
We hope you had a sleigh day,
A sleigh
a sleigh
day.
week,
And hopefully your next week will be Slay as well.
exactly. And we hope to see you at the AM7 album premiere with your suits on.
Yes. All right.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye, guys.